We speak of freedom, we speak of democracy, we speak of our rights. But somewhere, have we forgotten to speak of our responsibilities? Today, information is everywhere. We scroll, we react, we comment. And sometimes we begin to believe that knowing everything is the same as understanding everything. We question the country, we question its systems. We even say, "This is not the country I wanted to live in." But perhaps, before asking what our country owes us, we should pause and ask, what do I owe my country? Because freedom is not merely the right to speak, it is also the responsibility to think before we speak, to understand before we judge, and to contribute before we blame. And this freedom we exercise today did not appear by itself. It was earned, protected, and imagined by people who gave something of themselves to this nation. Some gave their lives, some gave their wealth, some gave their youth, and some gave us something as simple and as powerful as a symbol to unite us. One such person was Pingali Venkayya, a man who dreamed of a flag for a free India, a man whose idea would one day fly over a nation of millions, and yet whose own story remained largely away from the glory that his creation came to represent. And to begin the journey, let us remember the man behind the idea of our tricolour. Long before his name was etched into the quiet pages of history, he was a 19-year-old soldier standing on a foreign soil during the Boer War in South Africa. Born on 2nd August 1876 at Patle Pennumaru, a village near Machilipatnam in Krishna district in the present-day Andhra Pradesh, Pingali Venkayya was a man of extraordinary interest. He was not merely a freedom enthusiast. He was a soldier, scholar, agriculturist, known affectionately as Patti Venkayya, for his pioneering research in cotton and above all a dreamer. He was a linguist fluent in Japanese, geologist and a designer, a person whose curiosity seemed to know no boundaries. And somewhere along that journey, he became deeply interested in something that India did not yet have, a flag of its own. It was there, thousands of miles away from his homeland, that something struck him like a thunderbolt. He watched British soldiers salute the Union Jack with tears of devotion in their eyes. He saw how a mere piece of cloth could weave thousands of strangers into an unbreakable brotherhood. He looked at his fellow Indian soldiers and realized a heartbreaking truth. India had no single flag of our own. We were fighting, bleeding, and dreaming under the emblems that were not ours. That moment ignited a fire inside him that never burnt out. For over 5 years between 1916 and 1921, while others fought with speeches and marches, Venkayya fought with colors, thread, and meaning. He researched flags from over 30 nations. He obsessed over every shade, every symbol, asking one fundamental question: how do you capture the spirit of an entire subcontinent in a single piece of cloth? His passion earned him the affectionate nickname Janta Venkayya, the Venkayya of the flag. His association with Mahatma Gandhi became particularly important. In 1921, during the Vijayawada session of the Indian National Congress, Venkayya walked up to Mahatma Gandhi and presented a design born from the years of devotion. 2 bands, red for Hindus, green for Muslims, centered around the spinning wheel, the chakra representing self-reliance. Gandhi looked at it and saw its power, requesting a white stripe to be added to represent all other communities and the peace that binds them together. The Swaraj flag was born. With a more refined meaning, now the saffron at the top represents courage and sacrifice. White in the middle represents truth and peace. Green at the bottom represents faith, fertility, growth, and the richness of the land. And the 24-spoke deep blue Ashoka Chakra reminds us of Dharma, the wheel of righteous action and continuous movement. That is the tricolor flag of the present day. From that day on, every freedom fighter who marched against the colonial oppression carried Pingali Venkayya's vision in their hands and over their hearts. It was swept through the streets during the Salt March, held high against water cannons, and stained with the blood of martyrs who refused to let it hit the ground. On August 15, 1947, as the tricolor was unfurled at the Red Fort and millions wept tears of joy, the nation celebrated her newborn freedom. The chakra had evolved into Ashoka Chakra, but the soul of the flag remained exactly as Venkayya had envisioned. Yet, in the grand symphony of independence, the man who composed its visual anthem retreated silently into the shadows. Pingali Venkayya never sought fame. He never asked for pensions, titles, or monuments. He returned to his simple life, living in extreme poverty, forgotten by the very nation whose identity he had fashioned. In 1963, in a humble hut in Vijayawada, the architect of our national pride drew his final breath. It is said that in his last days, his only wish was to see the tricolor wrapped around his body, a final embrace between the creator and his creation. He died in obscurity, but his art lives on in the sky every single day. Today, whenever you look up at the flag fluttering high in the wind, above a school, a government building, a battlefield memorial, or an Olympic podium, or the homes of ordinary Indians, his name deserves to be remembered. Remember that it isn't just die and threat. It is the silence of a man who gave a billion people their voice. It is the patience of a visionary who painted our freedom before we even possessed it. Pingali Venkayya may not have his name carved in the marble, but he carved something far greater. He carved his soul into the fabric of India. The next time you see our flag flying, don't just see a flag. Remember the man who dreamed of giving a nation its own symbol, and remember the millions whose dreams that flag came to represent. As we celebrate our independence, perhaps it is time to remember not just the freedom we inherited, but also the responsibility we carry. Jai Hind.